KTLV, Midwest City, Oklahoma City, and streaming audio at KTLV1220.com.
This is Oklahoma Voice with Jonathan Clour on KTLV 1220. Good evening and welcome to the program. I'm Jonathan Clour. Tonight on Oklahoma Voice, we are honored to have one of the leading artists and frontrunners in the music industry with us. This evening, we welcome Reuben to the show to learn about his rap and hip-hop career, as well as his record label, Culture Shock Original, and One Tribe, One Nation. Reuben is better known by his stage name, Demonio. Over his career, he has collaborated and performed with some of the biggest names in the music industry, such as R. Kelly, Snoop Dogg, TLC, Akon, Ludacris, Baby Bash, and T.I., just to name a few. Tonight, Reuben will be sharing with us his experience in the music industry and why he left the spotlight to help uplift and promote native indigenous musicians with his record label. Reuben, welcome to Oklahoma Voice.
Thanks for having me, brother. I really appreciate it.
Hey, you're welcome. And I was visiting with one of our mutual friends, and she was telling me about your story, and it was very inspiring and motivational, and I thought I just had to have you on air and to tell us a little bit about where you come from and where you have taken the journey in the music industry.
Oh, okay. You know, it was kind of funny because when she got at me as well, she mentioned, I was like, oh, no, I'm more the background guy now. But like I said, I was really honored that you guys would have me. You know, oh my gosh, like about nearly 20 years ago it started. You know, like a lot of young guys, you know, wanting more out of life. You know, I thought I'd take a shot within the music industry. And it was really, really crazy how it happened. Initially, I started off like in a rock band. Uh-huh. And, you know, we were playing like the club scene, like in Hollywood and all those different things. And, excuse me, at that time, I thought that was the route I was going to take. I was in seminary. I was studying to be a pastor at the time, too, as well. And,
wow.
So we were doing, I was doing a band, and we were a Christian group, it was a ministry. And, we were in the studio recording, and prior to going into the studio, I was watching MTV and I saw rap for the first time, which I wasn't used to. You know, I was a musician. And when we went to the studio, the engineer started recording us, and jokingly, I started to rap over our drummer's drum beat. And I didn't know that the engineer was recording it. Shortly after we left the studio, a big-time manager was in after us. His name was Mario Guzman. And the engineer played in my tape, and he got my number, gave me a call. And we talked for like 15, 20 minutes before I realized he wasn't talking about my rock music. He was talking about rapping. And it was funny because he asked in the middle of the conversation, so what do you go by? And I'm like, I go by Reuben. That's my name. He goes, no, what's your rap name? I'm like, I'm not a rapper. And he explained to me at the time there was like no indigenous or Latino rappers on the scene. So even if I was horrible, I would be like second best.
Oh, wow.
So he basically told me that, you know, he'd like to take a chance on me, offered me a great deal of money, and I told him, all right, I'll do it. So I called my band and said, hey, you guys, I'm a rapper now. And,
wow.
20 years later, I was one of the top-selling Latino indigenous artists in the world.
Wow. That is absolutely amazing. During that process, your hometown friends and family that you grew up with how did they take that? How did they take you becoming famous so quickly?
You know, it was really odd because I mean a lot of people use the word quickly, but man, it was so much hard work. You know what I mean? Like when a lot of people that want to be in the music industry, I don't think they know what it entails. You know, living in hotel rooms, eating fast food, always on the road. Like I said, when we first started, we lived on the road. And it wasn't like, you know, planes. It was like little bitty cars and all these kind of things. So it was really rough. But I always had the support of my family, and that was like a big deal. You know, that was a very big deal, especially my pops. I think like a lot of young people, you know, I strayed a little bit. You know, mm-hmm. I strayed from the values that I was taught, and I was raised very conservative, like in a Christian household. My dad is a ex-Marine and law enforcement for 36 years. I think all the way till I was like 8 years old, I thought his name was Sir.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So, like I said, he instilled in me the values that I needed to make it in life. But like I said, like a lot of youth, I kind of strayed away from that politics and stuff that I shouldn't have. But because those values were so instilled in me, I guess you could say I came back, or God gave me some conviction to I guess do what was right for me, or do what He wanted me to do. Because I totally believe 100% in the complete sovereignty of God, and I think all this played out because this is how He wanted it, you know?
Hmm. That's very refreshing to hear someone, an artist like yourself in the hip-hop rap genre, that bases their music on spirituality and their spiritual convictions. Did you ever notice that people in the music industry, that they were far away from God, and that perhaps their actions and words didn't quite meet up with a higher spiritual level?
Yeah, in the beginning, I have to say, even a little embarrassed about it, but I fell into their trap. Like, instead of me converting them, I was conformed to what they were doing. I think it was because I was young, you want the success, you see the money and the traveling. So initially, my light wasn't shining very bright, brother.
Well,
it wasn't until I was attending a church and I heard the pastor speaking, and I swear it was one of these mega churches, 10,000 people, and I swear he was just talking to me.
well, yeah.
And then I just realized that God wanted me to be in a certain place. God wanted me to do something positive, and it's all because of Him. It's all because of Him. I think whenever I try to do it on my own, I fall short.
Hmm.
So, and at the time, like I said, I worked with, like you mentioned, I worked with like all the main guys in the industry. Everybody was somebody I worked with, and they all noticed a change. It was kind of funny because usually hip hop is all about all these negative things, and I just couldn't do it no more. I remember I was in the studio working with Snoop Dogg, and he was telling me a certain line, and this particular line he wanted some profanity. I was like, I don't do that no more. And it was something as simple as profanity. I was like, man, I think you speak the abundance of your heart, brother, so I'm going to have to take a pass. And like I said, the change was gradual and it was long, but it happened, and I thank God for it.
Reuben, how did Snoop Dogg react to when you told him you did not want to cuss on your song?
He kind of laughed, to be honest, but he's a good-hearted guy. Like I said, I know the dude personally. He's a very good-hearted guy, but definitely has different views than I had at the time.
Yeah.
And I think he was entertained by it, but he was also what went on with our studio session. I'm not sure. A lot of people within the industry know about the situation, how we met, how it came to happen. He just did a song with a group called Cypress Hill, who they went platinum and they're very big at the time. The song was called Vatos, and within the Latino and indigenous community, Snoop got a lot of heat because they thought that it was very disrespectful for this particular community. So in order to kind of, I guess, get Latino support again, they had to get Latino to do a song with him. And at that time, I was the Latino. I was, pretty popular, and I was getting a lot of radio play and tours. So to save face, he approached me in the song, and initially I was uncomfortable until we sat down, we had a meeting, and we talked, and I found him to be pretty pleasant, you know what I mean? I found him to be a really nice guy. He had a huge heart, overly friendly, nothing like you see like in TV or whatever, just a good guy. So I'm like, I'll do it. And also, I'll do it if the song could be on my album as well.
Well,
so
yeah.
we went and did it, and we had a great time, and we maintained a friendship through all these years. It's been about, maybe about 10, 12 years.
Wow, that's awesome. And, you're talking about transformation. I recall that Snoop Dogg might have had a transforming moment himself because he changed his stage name from Snoop Dogg to Snoop Lion. Am I correct?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I honestly think it had to do with for some other stuff. He got way involved in the Jamaican culture,
Uh-huh.
But like I said, he's a great guy. I can even go as far as to say before he performs, he prays, because I used to play with him in shows. A genuinely nice guy, genuinely good guy. I think God needs a little bit more work on him, but like I said, a great guy.
Wow, excellent. And while we're on the topic of Snoop Dogg and some of your collaborations that you've done, we have two of your songs that are queued up. and we are going to play both of them. So we're going to listen to both of those, and then on the other side, I want you to kind of tell us a little bit about both of those songs, all right?
All right, that sounds good, brother.
Okay, the first song is California Essay featuring Snoop Dogg, and then the second song is Baby Girl.
Okay, sounds good.
Get a mo better, low better, dough getter, so better, phone better, no never, so clever, go whether or not the teapot or the beat might settle. Feet on the pedal, mashing music, blasting, swerving, driving fast in the wrong lane, but I ain't and every day I thank God for my baby girl. Although it's not my blood that runs through your veins, I promise you one thing, my love will never change. And your mama on my world. And every day I thank God for my baby girl. Although it's not my blood that runs through your veins, I promise you one thing, my love will never change. See, real thug gon' be thug, can't switch for drugs, and money can't change me. Real love is love, and even though this little girl got my last name, I still treat her like the same. Blood runs through her veins, and when moms ain't home, girl, you know the business. Papa gon' hold it down, yeah, I'm the realest. Every time I'm in town, the whole house get happy. Like Too Short, but baby, you ain't gotta call me stepdaddy. Mama on my world.
Okay, Reuben, California Essay featuring Snoop Dogg. How did that song come about? How was it created?
Okay, like I mentioned before, Snoop just did a song with Cypress Hill called Vatos, and within a certain set of the community, Latino community, indigenous community, cut a lot of heat because I guess that they took the song wrong, its meaning, and they felt offended. So I guess he started to feel the heat, and they wanted to have a Latino kind of, I guess, almost something like justify that what he was doing wasn't really that bad or whatever. And at the time, that was at the height of my career, they got at me. And again, after meeting with him, I thought he was a nice guy, and I said I'd go ahead and do it. And with the stipulation that it'd be on both of our records. And it turned out to be one of my biggest hits. It was number 9 on the Billboard rap charts.
Wow. How about Baby Girl?
Baby Girl was actually my second biggest hit, and that too was number 9 at Billboard rap charts. It features Tony. That's the singer on there, and they were like gigantic in the 90s, the late 90s. I don't remember them. They were R&B group. Basically, unfortunately, in our communities, there's a lot of kids having kids outside of marriage, and the song basically addresses that, like the aftermath of it. It was basically a man meeting a woman who already had a kid, and the man accepting the kid as his own. And if you go through and play it, it even has the little girl asking if he called her daddy. And that's what it was. It was just addressing that issue and addressing it more in a positive light,
Yeah. What are some other songs that we need to know about?
Let's see. Over my career, I put out 7 albums. I did a record that I'm really proud of. It was called Just South of Paradise. And it was in the middle of my career, and I decided to change my whole genre. Me and my brother played all the instruments on it. It's almost like a folk country rock record, which is really odd for some kind of rapper or whatever. But like I said, the sales did really good, and then, like I said, it's me singing, and I played all the guitar, bass, and my brother, who's the next one musician, his name's Reuben. He's just an incredible guy, and he also produced the album for me, which was really neat because, like I said, when I first started off into the industry, I found myself conforming to what secular people wanted me to be, and like I said, I think I kind of fell away a little bit. So a lot of the producers that I was working with, they were intimidated by me. I don't know if you saw my pictures. They looked kind of intimidating.
Yeah.
But so they weren't getting the best out of me because I would be in the studio and they would ask me to do something, and I would be like, I think it's good the way it is. And they'd be okay. But my brother wouldn't have it. So I think my brother brought the best out of me, and he produced that album. And my album that's called Born Again, which was my last album and my biggest, he produced a lot of that too, as a session producer.
Wow.
And,
what other big-named artists have you collaborated with over the years? And which
oh my
ones were
gosh.
your favorite?
You know what I found? The bigger the artists seem to be the most nicest.
Really?
Some of the mid-range artists, they seem to have a chip on their shoulder, which was kind of odd. But I've worked with like Akon. I think he's sold up to date. I think it's like 800 million units. I worked with him. T-Pain, T.I., almost like all the legendary guys. Because again, at that time, the Latino movement, the indigenous movement started to really happen. Mm-hmm. And I was the forefront of that. A lot of people recognize me as one of the pioneers. So if you wanted to get involved in that, I was the guy to get to. So I benefited from that. You know, and all these major artists, like I used to get invited to all the award shows, the Grammys. I picked up a couple awards, and I've toured with everybody, all legendary groups, like I said, Akon, T-Pain, Snoop Dogg, The Game. I mean, just everybody who's somebody in the industry, I work with them or familiar with them, or they're familiar with me.
And I believe TLC as well?
Oh, yeah, TLC. Yeah, I toured with TLC prior, before Lest I Die. And like I said, they were extremely nice, and it was like at the height of their game. I was the opening act for them, and we were doing a stadium tour, which was really neat and intimidating, you know.
When you're creating a song, is there another artist that really inspires your work and shapes what you do?
Usually the way I write stuff is I'm usually isolated. Uh-huh. And most times, even if it's rap stuff, I'll pick up my guitar and hum a melody or something if it works, and I'll run with it. But I have collaborated with some people, and I find that for me, it was a little bit tricky because sometimes we're not on the same mindset. Mm-hmm. Especially like after I spoke, God Called Me Back, it even got a little bit more tricky. You know what I mean?
Wow. That's understandable. Well, Reuben, do you allow the Spirit to move you when you are creating songs now, or when you are working as an artist?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's all it is. Again, I was telling you, I believe in the full sovereignty of God, and I think He motivates everything I do.
Awesome.
And I think, I contribute all my success to Him, even when I wasn't being that great witness. I still think it was all Him. He had a plan for me, and His plan definitely came to pass, and it continues to.
Well, we're going to go to a hard break here, folks. You have been listening to our in-depth interview with music industry mogul Reuben Roman. He has been sharing with us his personal experience as a performer in the rap hip-hop music industry. And now we are shifting gears to talk a little about Reuben's record label and outreach to young indigenous peoples aspiring to make a name for themselves in the music industry. Reuben, you are the founder and CEO of Culture Shock Original. Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, Culture Shock Original happened. Basically, my last album was called Born Again, and it was my most successful of all my albums. And shortly after that, I had a conversation with my wife, and I thought, I think I'm just about done with this. I think I reached pretty much all the goals that I set out. And we made a huge change in our life. We lived in Southern California. My wife is from a little bitty town in Colorado. So after my last record, we talked and we decided, you know what, we need a change. Let me go ahead and take a step back. And we moved to Ignacio, Colorado. It's a little bit, I don't even know if you call it a town. Might be a village. Are there still villages? It's right adjacent to the Southern Reservation. And so we decided to move, and we moved there, and I was there maybe for like a year. And it was so culture shock. That's how we got the name. Like, back home, if I wanted to get a burger, there's one on every corner. Here, I got to pull out a map, plan a trip, so right. It was very, very, very country, and I wasn't used to that. I'm a Southern California kid. And so when I was here, I started learning about, the local people, and it was very, very like a reality check of how, different places that are in America could be so, what's the word, they're so beaten up. Like I said, a lot of kids on the res, I started learning about, like, their super high suicide rate, which in some parts is 80% higher than the national average. That's insane. And then the unemployment, the pregnancy outside of marriage, the drug use, just all of it was just multiplied by 10 times the amount of the normal average. And it really got to me. I really felt like God wanted me to do something. I know to some people they may say that might sound kind of odd, but that's how I felt. I felt a strong conviction that I have the means, I have the resources, when I do something with it. So my wife and I, we prayed about it, and we contacted some of the old people that I used to work with in the industry, and I met up with a guy named Josh Coons, an amazing guy. He's won 2 Emmys for directing, just a great guy. And another guy, Marcus Sosi, another great guy, and he's an indigenous dude. He's a Navajo friend of mine. And we started talking about possibly putting out a group. And that was the initial plan, was just for one artist. Let's help them out, let's help an artist and see where God takes us. So I got at the tribe, and I told them what I wanted to do and who I was, and they got kind of excited. And since I had such a strong presence in the music industry, sales-wise, I was able to go to a few record companies, tell them what I wanted to do, and they were basically lining up to throw money at me to get it done. We ended up going with Universal. Universal gave us some money and had us have a contest to find this indigenous Native American group, which was kind of odd because, like I said, in Southern California, I don't really run into indigenous or Native American, even though I'm indigenous. I'm very Americanized, So it was, I see it on TV, but oh my gosh, they still exist, So,
Right.
So it was really odd, but at the same time, it was exciting because it was something new. So we ended up taking out ads like all over the country, and we had like 700 different artists. And it was really hard going through it because we got really discouraged because initially we thought maybe we made a mistake because there wasn't a lot of talent within this talent pool, And I think it had to do with resources because a lot of people on the res don't have access to studios or engineers or producers. So it was very, very, very hard. So we did find 3 artists that we really enjoyed a lot, but they were solo artists. We brought them in and told them if they were willing to be in a group, that I will pay for everything to put them out. And I'll even, call some of my friends in. So we got these artists. One was Tones Herrera. He goes by Tones. And the other artist that actually maintained was Redskin Thundercat. A great guy. He's a war veteran of 2 wars. Just an amazing guy as well. And we called them the Council. Their album was called One Tribe, One Nation. I brought in Snoop Dogg, The Game, T.I. I brought in some of the biggest engineers and producers in the world. And it was really insane because we're talking about in a little city of 300 people, like, this is not the mecca of the entertainment industry, you know what I mean? So it was really weird to have, like, all these people come in, and actually they came in. We had Ed Stacey, who's won, like, 9 Grammys and works with the Rolling Stones and the Ramones, in our little bitty studio in Ignacio, Colorado, and Snoop Dogg and The Game and all these guys just lined up just to help what we're doing. And it was really exciting because usually when you do something, it never goes as planned. But God's blessing, man, it happened. We put out the album. A year later, it won the highest honor in the Native American and Indigenous world of entertainment. It won a NAMI, a Native American Music Award, for Best Rap Album of the Year. The group tours, and they're the premier group within that genre of music. And that opened the door for us to sign other artists. I think our roster includes like 82 artists from all over the world, and we've released like 78 projects already. And again, by the grace of God, we have the biggest network of distribution like on the planet. Our stuff's available like in 800 stores in like 140 countries. Yeah. But and it's been really neat. And that actually branched off into something else. Initially, we wanted to make these kids that didn't have an avenue or venue to be productive members of society, just basically a job, you can be in the industry. But then we started to change, and that's when One Tribe, One Nation came in. And now we're signing artists with strong character, those that were going to be role models, those that were going to go out and actually give back to the community and help. And the first ones of that were the council. Like I said, they're amazing guys and have nothing but love for them. And then we added Raya, and her record, our very next record, won American Indian Music Award, Best R&B Album of the Year. And she's an amazing person, and like I said, an incredible singer. And it just kept going on. And like I said, we have hard times. Sometimes there's a little bit of frustration, but God continues to bless. And I think that's why we know we're doing right.
Yes. A few days ago, we had Arizona State Senator Carlisle Begay on the show, and he was talking about suicide in the Native communities and drugs and violence. And it seems as if some of our people, our Native people at that, it's almost like they feel that they don't have anything to live for. And you have somewhat been the balm, I feel, the healing touch for some of these people. Tell us about some of the lives that your record label has transformed.
Oh, definitely. And like I said, that is so true. And I totally respect Senator Ricky. I love the guy. It's neat that you had him on. But,
yeah, he's a good person.
Oh, heck yeah. Like I said, within these communities, the numbers, like I said, are staggering. Of those that, committed suicide, going to prison or jail, as opposed to the workforce or college or it's insane. And the way we do it is it's basically because we work within the secular world. A lot of times we can't say the word Jesus. Uh-huh. So the way we get around that is, a higher power or whatever. But we know what we're talking about, and we know God's going to affect people's lives. And basically, it's just I know it's been said a lot, but it's really worked. It basically comes down to a solid plan, perseverance, and hard work. If you get those three things going, you can do anything you want. I know people have been told that a million times and never pans out, but that's the reality of it. And every artist and myself are proof of that. And we have a campaign, One Tribe, One Nation, on proof of it. Each artist goes through and tells them how it is. And I'll give you an example, like Tones Herrera, the council. He's considered the premier MC in the whole indigenous world. Like I said, award-winning artist, tours. I mean, the guy is it, and he's with us. He's a former drug dealer, street hustler. And now he goes into schools and basically tells people, like, his story, which is, this higher power, and music saved his life. And whatever you want to be, you could be that. It's not going to be easy. It's definitely not going to be easy, but through hard work, a solid plan, and perseverance, if you take those three elements and apply it, it'll happen. Remove any one of those elements, and it's not going to happen. And again, the other member of the council, he has, like I said, he was a two-time war veteran. Afghan war and Iraq war. And he has PTSD, Senator Cat Redskin. Amazing guy, amazing story. And he's the same way. He talks to veterans and young people about his ailment and explains it. Like I said, he got into self-medicating, drug use and things like that. And now the guy's just a solid role model and just a great guy. Another guy who's part of our One Tribe, One Nation is Jot Scripps. I think this guy has just an insane amount of potential. He's a former homeless heroin addict who gave his life to Christ, and Christ transformed him, and now he's out doing his thing. And what you need is, again, we're not really preaching to the choir because very seldom do we go into churches. We go into secular places and affecting change. And it's pretty amazing, It's pretty amazing because it's not anything that we're doing. It's what we're being guided to do. There's definitely a bigger hand behind us. And I think that's why we're having so much success, because we just submit and give into the Spirit and just let Him guide us, and we go do what we got to do.
Reuben, you have seen and worked in the music industry. With the experience you have now, you have named us 3 different points that someone needs to hang on to if they're going to be successful in the music industry or perhaps just in life. What other words of encouragement do you have for other young aspiring Native musicians or any other aspiring musician at that?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think it's more towards life. And again, we've been told so many times in so many ways But I think the problem is we don't implement it. It's easy to say, yeah, just work hard. It's easy to say, oh, just go to school. But like I said, what we do is we take it a step further. We show them, here's proof of it. See, this guy did this. He did these 3 easy steps, and it resulted into something. And they're from the same place as you are. They have the same cultural values as you. I mean, they're almost mimic your entire lifestyle, and they've completely changed. And since they were able to do it, you can. And again, it comes down to simple Christian conservative values. Work hard. And anything that's a stumbling block within it, anything that takes you away from the focus of where you want to be, what your goal is, you have to remove it. Now, that's not easy because sometimes it could be your best friend. But if it doesn't fit and if it doesn't belong and if it stops you or hinders your journey to get where you want to go, it's not good for you. So it's got to go. So it's hard work, a solid plan, and that's very important. A solid plan. How are you going to get to where you want to be? And you got to work hard for it. But what does it take to get there? So once you figure that out, and we help out a lot, you know what I mean? Because again, I got 25 years of music industry knowledge within me. And those that want to do it, we point out, but this works in every aspect of life. Research. Find out how to get there, and just get there. No excuses. And perseverance. Okay, you work hard, you got this solid plan, then you implement it for 2 weeks and you quit. That's not going to work. Perseverance. You have to keep going. You have to keep going. You have to keep going. And you'll get there. And again, all my artists are proof of that. My life is proof of that. Was it easy? Heck no. Not even a little bit. Not even going to lie to you. Or not even going to tell everybody, if you do this, it's going to be great. No, it's going to be some of the hardest stuff you got to do. But if you want it bad enough, it's going to happen. But you have to do it. No one's going to do it for you. You got people show you the way, but you still have to take the steps. And that's where we're at. And it's simple. It's a simple philosophy, but implementing, man, it's very, very powerful. It's extremely powerful because it's a reality. Again, there was no way in the world I should have done the stuff that I've done. You're just a silly kid from California. Nothing. And I got to work with some of the biggest names in the industry. Same with the council. They are from a little reservation, Southern Union Reservation, Ignacio, Colorado. They never thought in their wildest dreams they would be working with Snoop Dogg or some of these huge producers that are iconic. And they did it, and they did it with perseverance. They stuck it out. Prior to the perseverance, they worked really hard, and I gave them the solid plan. They stuck to it, and it happened. And it keeps going on and going on and going on. What's beautiful about life is if you find somebody who succeeds, you can mimic that. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. If someone succeeds, find out what they're doing and do that, and you'll succeed as well. And again, I think what helps out, I would say with everything, but what helps out a lot is your faith in the higher power, something that's going to keep you motivated and keep you going. For us, it's God, it's Jesus Christ. But again, if you're not quite there yet, if you haven't been called yet, find what works for you. And I think that along the way, God will show you a way. God will light the path for you. And in the process, you'll get to know better.
Reuben, how can we get involved and help your cause and help Culture Shock Original?
Okay. It's as simple as going to our website, brother. That is cultureshockorigional.com. It's all spelled correctly. No weird rap way. cultureshockorigional.com. There's actually a lot of information, all the artists, all the releases, but there's a portion on it called the nonprofit, and you can just read all the information on there, and if God leads you to help us, awesome. If not, keep us in our prayers. That's powerful too.
That's awesome. Reuben, do you have any other final words for us?
Oh, definitely. I feel kind of weird pitching, but we have a new artist out, and I would like to tell you about them really fast. They're called Hour 11. These guys are a rock metal band. They're amazing, and we pulled some huge favors. We got iconic dudes on there. Def Leppard is on their record. Dawkins on their record. Anthrax is on their record. Who am I missing? Everclear, just some really, like I said, platinum-selling iconic artists. And their album, Hour 11, it's amazing. And it's so weird because years and years and years ago, the guitar player, I used to roadie for him. And it's so funny that we made this full circle. Wow. Now I own the company that signed them. But Again, the album is amazing. It's called 11tion. It's Hour 11. It's available everywhere on the planet where MP3s and CDs are sold. You can get the website. You can get the physical CD from the website. And again, it's an amazing album.
Well, Reuben, you have truly been inspiring. And on behalf of Oklahoma Voice, I would like to sincerely thank you for joining the program and sharing with us your career in the music industry. And we wish you and your outreach continued success and warmest holiday wishes to you and your family.
Thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate you having me, and God bless you guys, and Merry Christmas to everybody out there.
Thank you, Reuben. Merry Christmas to you, and we hope to have you on very soon.
Okay, thank you, brother.
All right, take it easy. Folks, we've just wrapped up our interview with Reuben El Demonio Roman. If you want to learn more about his record label and outreach, please go to cultureshockorigional.com and help support music in our indigenous peoples. Join Oklahoma Voice Monday through Friday evening at 7 p.m. right here on KTLV 1220. I'm Jonathan Clour. Thanks for listening. This has been Oklahoma Voice with Jonathan Clour. Tune in Monday through Friday night at 7 p.m. on the TuneIn Radio app, by live streaming at KTLV.com, or by radio on station 1220 AM. Hi,